Hey, what's up YouTube? I am back again today, and today's episode is a little bit of a kind of, I don't really like doing necessarily the negative ones, but it is kind of a slight negative episode in that we're going to be looking at the worst, kind of the top 7 to 8 worst things in my opinion that are going on with the fitness industry right now. And I kind of decided to do this. I know a lot of other people have kind of talked about all these topics and things, but I still think it's important to reiterate these types of things because so many of these are people lying or bad supplements and things like that. There's so many things out there at the moment, especially with Instagram, and social media as a whole at the moment that are causing so many bad things and really kind of dragging the name of the fitness, pretty much dragging fitness through the dirt, kicking and screaming into basically hell. At this point, let's be real. So I figured basically I'd give you my top 8 of the worst things that are going on at the moment. You should look out for these things, try and avoid them if you can. And you should just be open to trying to look at things through a kind of like a scope, right? You should be trying to assess what you're looking at and seeing, does this make sense? Is this right? Is this not? Because there are a lot of lies, there really are. And as someone who's a personal trainer, that's quite sad in my opinion. To be part of an industry that has so many problems, but hopefully in today's episode we can look at those so that we can avoid those, and hopefully, I know a lot of other people are doing some good as well. So hopefully these things won't be around forever. We hope, anyway. Okay, so number 1 is going to be before and after photos. Now there's a little bit of a double-edged sword to these, right? Because sometimes they can be really good, right? People want to show what they were like before, what they were like after. They can be inspiring for people. They can show, a person's true potential, and they can really help some people kind of go, if that person did it, I can do this as well. And it can be used to spread a really positive message. The bad side to this is when people use them just to kind of, what's the way of putting it? It's when people lie when they do them, right? So you've seen the videos before about how you could lie or how you could make these photos in one day, right? You take the after photo, in the morning when you're tired, you're slouched over, you have a bad demeanor, you're in a dark room, and all these things affect the way that the photo looks, right? And you can really show that you look like poo. And then you take your before photo, your after photo, and you do it kind of, later on in the day, maybe after you've gone to the gym, so you've got a big pump, you're wearing brighter clothes, you have a nicer demeanor, the room is light, you're sucking everything and tensing everything, and then you'll use these transformations, which they're not, to then sometimes usually to sell a product and show I did this in 20 days or 30 days or 10 days, you guys can do this as well with this. And 2 problems with that: one, you can't do it in that amount of time because they didn't do it in that amount of time, they've been training for years, and this is the result of where they're at. But that actual transformation photo is rubbish. And 2, you're not like them because everyone has a different biologically we're all different, right? We're all different in little ways. So when someone says you specifically can look exactly like me, in this exact amount of days, you got to look at that and go, that's not correct. We're all gonna react differently to this style of training, whatever they're trying to sell with these fake transformation photos. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that, and just think about it, analyze it, look what they're saying, and kind of go, well, actually no, this can't be real. Okay, number 2 is kind of staying on the same line as number 1, along the lines of it's people using their physiques for to gain stuff. But the most prominent one at the moment is obviously the juiced up boys, the guys that are on certain PDs and things like that, which obviously enhance the way they look, and also there's so many different things people could be taking. Stuff to make the muscles grow bigger, and it can cut down on your recovery time, so you can get more sessions in, and all this, that, and the other. And then the worst one is obviously when they claim natural, right? They claim natural, they look a certain way, and then they say again, you want to look like me, you do this is what I did, this will 100% work for you, and you'll look like me in X amount of time, and you just won't. If you're natural And even some guys on PDs, and they do their transformation photos, and it's extremely quick for someone who is on PDs, and then you're like, really, like, I mean, come on, you cannot sell that as a natural transformation. Just look at it. So yeah, that's the second one, is look at and have a look, and it's usually like, I mean, the easiest way to have a look is when they got massively capped delts, big tries, just because the androgen receptors, so the things that take in the fake testosterone the best, are in your shoulders and your traps usually, I think, and that's why they tend to look quite big. So, and again, like, you know, if someone does like put on a lot of muscle in a very short amount of time, you got to look at that and go like, no, that's not, that can't be a natural transformation. Okay, so number 4, stepping away from the fitness side, well, not the fitness, but stepping away from the kind of looks and body types and all that type of thing, and now going on to the dietary side of things, is the people that say we can make whatever you eat fit in a diet. V-Shreds comes to mind when you look at those types of things. You can eat pizza. Yes, I mean, everything in moderation. You can eat a small amount of these things, or you can eat, you know, like people have cheat days and they'll have, you know, like a whole pizza or whatever on a cheat day, and that's their day. But then the other, you know, so many days after and before that, they've eaten really well, so that's how they can fit that in. But if you wanted to say get really, really shredded, you can't get really, really shredded just on eating pizza unless you were eating a really, really low amount of calories. Like if you were, I mean, yes, hypothetically, right, if I ate one slice of pizza a day, I could get shredded, but I would be ridiculously hungry and I'd be starving, and also probably wouldn't have particularly good, like, you know, your proteins and your carbs and your fats would all be way out of whack. So again, this kind of just takes you looking at someone, looking at what they're trying to sell you, and if they ever try and say something like that, we can make whatever your diet is fit. I mean, to a degree, you can say, as I said, like you could have a cheat day where you're like, I really like pizza, okay, I can have a bit of cheat day and I can have a pizza on cheat day. But you cannot make every single little thing fit. I mean, what happens if I want to eat 23 pizzas a day, a packet of Haribo, and a Mars bar? You can't make that fit. So that's something I really hate at the moment. Okay, so number 5 is going to be the cookie cutter programs. Obviously, these have been around for ages. A lot of influencers on Instagram will try and sell you that this program has been specially designed for you, and because you took their quiz, and this 100% fits you. Let's be real, okay? Unless, you know, look at reviews, ask people who are buying these programs, and check to see if, you know, because there are people who do give out good information, do sell good programs. But there are also a lot of people who will just recycle, like say they might have three programs, right? They might have one for building, one for strength, and one for cardio, and then it's not tailored to you because they'll just sell you that program. And if they're being transparent and saying like, this is a basic program, I'm going to sell you a basic program, that's fine. But it's when people say that it is tailored to you, this is designed to fit you, your needs, and they just give you a basic program that they've given to everybody, then, you know, you've been shafted. So make sure that you're doing your research, make sure they're reputable, have a look at what other people have said about it, maybe even get in contact with some people and see if, and make sure it's all, you know, legit, basically. Make sure it's legit and make sure it's going to be specific to you. Okay, so I think we're on number 5, I want to say. I usually get the numbers a little bit muddled up. You know, Future Jack. What's Future Jack's problem on the editing side of things? Haha, good luck. So this next one is going to be just kind of general bad advice. Now you see a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people on Instagram again, that give out bad information when it comes to actual specific exercises and how to perform them, right? So with that type of thing, again, you want to be looking for people who either have the qualification in what they're teaching, because then you can kind of guarantee, or usually, not all the time, but usually you can kind of guarantee that they're going to know what they're talking about when it comes to exercises. Or, you know, again, look for people who are reputable, lots of people saying lots of good things about them, either in the comments or, you know, in reviews and things, so that you know that you're watching someone who's genuinely going to give you good advice. A really good person to watch for that type of thing would be AthleanX, for example. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, just no. AthleanX is amazing. You know, he's got a list load of qualifications that's larger than this room, and, you know, pretty much most of the stuff he puts out is really good information. So someone like him who has is reputable, you know, has all the qualifications, He's been doing it for a while. Everyone can see, and everyone's saying good things about it on all his videos. That's the type of person you should follow for that type of advice. Okay, so number 7 kind of links back to another one, which is this is kind of strictly just taking the one piece that really irritates me, which is when people say you can put on so much muscle in a year. The amount of muscle you can put on a year, depends on the person, because obviously, again, we're all different. We all have different, biologically, we're all different, right? And 2, it depends on what style of training you're doing, what your intensity is during your training, how many times are you training per week, what else is going on as well. If you're doing lots of training but then you're not eating enough to build the muscle, then you're not going to put that on. And also the people that tend to say, oh, you can put on 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds of muscle in a year, tend to be on PDs. That's why they can do that, and that's still a lot of muscle to put on in a year with PDs. So no, just no. They can. I can't remember what the actual calculation is for how much you can put on, but they did somewhere you can look at your wrist size, and some other bits as well, and they can kind of work out what your max potential would be for putting on muscle over your entire training year, over your entire training kind of time period, for you to kind of work out what your maximum is going to be. And then there's some other ones as well to kind of try and work out how much muscle you can put on in a year. But yeah, don't believe those people that tell you can put on loads of muscle in a year. It just doesn't work like that. Even if you're new, because I know new people tend to put on a little bit more muscle than people who have been training a while, because their bodies are not used to the resistance. They're not used to having to control, and there's so many more things that are being worked for the first time, right? So they tend to put on a little bit more muscle, but still not 15, 20, 25 pounds in the first year. Just no. Okay, and the last one we're going to look at, and again, I've lost count of what number this is now, so Jack, put one up on the screen, hopefully you've done that. I hope. And the last one kind of encompasses kind of 3 sections, but it's all going to be on supplementation, right? The first bit is the vitamins and minerals tablets. You need to take a whole multivitamin, and you need to take vitamin A, B, C through to Z. If you have a really good balanced diet, you do not need to take any of these. Unless the doctor tells you so to, so you might be deficient in one, in which case the doctor will, if you've gone to the doctor, you've had blood work done, and they say, yes, you need to take this supplement, then you might need to take it. Or if you really notice something and you think it's linked to it and you take it and it sorts it out, then good for you. But 9 times out of 10, you don't need to take it, and what will happen is if you have a balanced diet and you're taking in all these things anyway, you're just giving your body an excess amount of them, and it will just come out in your wee and in your everything. It will just come out out of your body, and therefore you're just paying for very expensive toilet time. The other ones are going to be protein powders. So the other stuff testosterone boosters and that type of thing, they haven't really got a lot of science behind it, loads of it behind it, so be critical and in looking what you're doing when you're buying that type of thing. But when we're talking about protein powder, that's had lots of that's had loads of people look at it, loads of experiments and everything, and it's good to take. The only downside is again where you buy it from, because some people have I can never say the bloody word, proprietary blends, which basically means that they're hiding what they put in it, and 9 times out of 10, the reason that they're hiding what they're putting in it is because what they're putting on it is rubbish, right? So you want to be buying a brand that has everything on the label, so you can see what's in it and make sure there's the right amounts of everything in it, so that you're taking the right thing. Whew! Okay, thank you for watching. That was kind of my rant on some of the worst things in the fitness industry. I don't know if we really hit 8 or not, because I lost count. Sorry. Let me know what your thoughts on everything is down in the comments below. Hopefully, with all the good that's with all the good YouTubers and things, hopefully, eventually all of us will weigh out all the bad that's on YouTube and that's on Instagram as well. That's kind of the hope, that's the idea. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, if you want to see more. I've got a couple more back to basics in the tank for just the basic exercises that you might want to try and things, and also if you have any other ones you might want to know, let me know. And also I'll be doing some more. I uploaded my first kind of fashion tips video the other day. It was really fun for me. I enjoyed doing that alongside the fitness stuff, so there'll be more of that coming as well. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a nice day. and I hope to see you in the next one.